Right. Onegaishimasu. Down. Right, side to side. Right, use your shoulders. Circles one way. And the other way. And your arms come forward. And going back. And stretch back one side. And the other side. Crossing one side. Cross the other side. You open and close. And hand side. And G. Yoko. Iuki, cute. Go. Cute. Go. And cute. Go. Hey, parado. down. Your knees. And circles for weight. Circles the other way. Eight. Down. Up. Down. Up. On your toes. So. 1、2、5、2、9、5、3、9、5、8。This. You die. Side of the leg. Hip hinges, remember, out of your chest, shoulders back, head up, and start by not touching the ground, and then we touch the ground with one hand, and then with both hands. The most important thing is to not lose too much posture, but focus on your hip hinging. If it's just a tiny little bit, if at home you need any help, which actually sometimes is good, just to have something solid, sturdy, you know, like a chair or something, you know, just to hold ourselves, you know, just to keeping your posture as much as possible, but having a chair or a stool or something that helps you keep balance, that's a good idea. Okay, just to help do the exercise properly. It's endlessly better to have something that supports you, that makes you do the exercise properly, than to have nothing and then just kind of struggle your way through a bad set of motions. Okay, so starting first with your hands in the chest, shoulders back, head up, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this week we started training, again reviewing revisiting the 16 elements of the technique Mono Sensei teaches us, but we kind of putting them in chapters, which is the phases, or the way we call our phases of training. The first phase is the re-education of our body and our breathing and our mind to perform certain actions. So within that phase, within that chapter, an important element of Sensei's elements is Jigotai, for example, you know, that all our techniques need to have a lower body position, you know, we have our knees are bent and our hips are engaged and are connected. It's impossible to have a good Jigotai if we have poor hip health. It's just not possible. You know, so on one hand, I'm being asked to lower my hips, but on the other hand, my hip, the health of the very system that I've been asked to engage is not in a good shape, so it's not going to happen. So if it's not going to happen, then we have to dispose with one important element of the technique, which is Jigotai. So cannot be. So anything that we can do to maintain hip health is going to be important. So this set of exercises, you know, everything from starting opening your hips, raising your knees, raising your legs, hinging your hip, all of that is just to kind of test the mobility of our hip hinge and see the health of it, and hopefully progressively make it better, depending on what's our condition with it. But all right, so this time we're going to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to hinge, we're going to come, we're going to raise and put down. So hinge, raise, put down. So hinge, raise, and down. Okay, so it's a combination of two exercises: hip hinge and knee raise. Okay, so slowly hinging, raising, down. Again, hinge, raise, down. 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 One more. Hinge, raise, and down. Okay, the other side. Hinging, raising, down. Raise, down. Hinge, 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 raise, and down. Okay. So now we're going to be a little bit more challenging. And again, if in the beginning you need to grab anything or anyone, if you have a partner, you can always kind of grab your partner and give yourself like a support person, you know, in order to do hinging, raising, and now extending to the side, going back and down. Hinging, raising, extending to the side, and down. Hinge, raise, extend to the side, and down. So when you're extending to the side, you have to slightly pivot on your foot because you are going to demand that sideways motion. So hinging, raising, opening a little bit, extending to the side, and down. Okay, so careful, okay, but if you have a partner, okay, to help you do that, okay, here on the side of you, here, hinging, raising, extending to the side, and down. Thank you. So if you have a partner to practice with, to give you good support, good on you, okay, if you don't have a partner, then see if you can grab something just to kind of give you a little bit of balance in case you need it, okay. More than anything, just to, so it's not a kick, it's just an action of motion, okay? So range, range, open, range, down, and sit. Okay, so if you have a partner, grab a partner. If you don't have a partner, have a chair, If you are very good on your own, then try, you know, 1, 2, open, and 3, and back, up, and down. And again, back, up, open, leg, back, down. Okay, so you just try a little bit. You know, again, you have to grab each other, that's fine. If you want to grab a chair, that's fine. If you want to do it by yourself, that's on you. Okay, so 1, open. Open, roll, down. 1, open. So, probably the most difficult thing is to keep the balance. So, eventually, really, a proper kick, you know, will be one where this knee stays at the same level, and then from that level extends. Okay, so it's very important to try to not raise, down, and kick backwards. You know, so that's kind of defeats the purpose of the hip motion. So, you know, down, up. That's why it's important. You can do it with a partner as well. Keeping your knee up, opening your hip, and extending from that position. Trying to keep that knee up, slowly opening and extending. Okay, so 1, 2, open, extend sideways. Push out the side. 1, 2, open, and extend. 1, 2, open, down, up, open, keep trying, changing. Try to keep your knee as high as possible, okay? So knee, keep it up here, draw, and from that position extend up. Slowly, slowly. And relax. Okay. So anyway, so that has applications. That kind of motion, of course, has applications in the forms of kicks and things like that. But at the moment, our main purpose is to just explore range of motion of our kick. You know, when we practice, okay, at some point we will be requested to kind of hinge, and my partner takes me down for some reason. You know, the most common thing is Siriminage, Shomen, Shirimis, and I come down. Okay, so I need to be comfortable in kind of reaching that place in a way that my hip is hinging and my posture remains. Okay, so now open your legs and down the back, inside to side. So onto the one side. Go. The other side. Down again. And up again. Down one more time. One side. One side. Push. The other side. Push. And open up. Up. And down one more time. One side. Open one side. So the other side. Open. So remember, for example, when we practice squats, okay, there are basically three ways of doing our squats. Number one is when you practice the squats in the most traditional form, or the most common form, which is when you lower your hips at least 90 degrees and come up. Okay, so that's kind of the top half of the squat. Okay, so Okay, so for example, let's do it, hands in the chest, head up, make sure that your bum goes down, not your head. Okay, so on the way down, your bum goes down, on the way up, your head goes up. Okay, the most common problem with the squats is that we do it the other way around. The way down, our head goes down first, and on the way up, you know, our bum kind of. So just keep your head up, bum down. Let's just do the first top half, 90 degrees. So make sure your leg goes to 90 degrees. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's forgot to mention, but the important thing about the squats, of course, is that your knees and your toes kind of are following each other. The most common problem is when you have some different hip shape that pushes your knees in outside of alignment with your toes. So make sure that your knees and your toes are moving in the same direction. Okay, so anyway, so that's the top part. The second part is when you do the bottom part. So go down as deep as your squat allows. So go down as deep as your squat allows. And now do the same but opposite, as in just go up halfway and then sit the rest. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. So that's the bottom part of the squat, okay? And it's a part of the movement that we need to be at least familiar with. If we are not horribly proficient, at least we have to be familiar with. So because that bottom part, especially what I was going to say recently, has been doing, some oshimais, let's say, for example, a Nikki oshimai, right? So the Nikki oshimai that we typically do is fully on our knees, right? Arm is down, we grab and we oshimai. But sometimes sensei says, well, if you cannot go all the way down your knee because you have some form of knee condition, you can stand up and just basically grab and have a good connection with your leg and keep your leg up. But there is an alternative in between, which is you don't have to go all the way down to your knees, but you go into a deep squat and then controlling from this part. So in this position, I'm not going down to my knees. I am in a deep squat, but then I'm controlling my partner. But this implies that I have a reasonable understanding and management of this position. If this position is poor or I'm not comfortable with, it's going to be dangerous for me and maybe dangerous for my partner because I could fall into them. So, the most common oshimai, 2 knees fully down, and then that's fine. Okay, alternative, if we cannot do that, standing up, knee on arm, and that's fine. But a really good alternative, because it's a really good control, is deep squat, okay, and full oshimai. And in this position, I'm control as low as possible as I can with my partner, but I still remain quite vigilant and ready to move. But in order to do that, I have to be comfortable. Thank you. I have to be comfortable in this position. I need to stay and move and get up. Okay, so now this time, so first squat is have a squat from the top. Second squat is have a start from the bottom, and then of course third squat is a full range squat. Okay. Really, the second squat is the painful one, the bottom half, because your legs are constantly engaged. Realistically, when you get out of the top half, you are kind of giving a bit of a rest to your legs. But if you stay in the bottom half, you are not giving a rest to your legs. That's why it's more difficult. So, okay, so full range now. So all the way down. 1, down, 2, down, 3, down, 4, down, 5, down, 6, down, 7, down, 8, down, 9, down, 10. Okay? It's very important to know where we are with that with that action. Okay, so Jigotai is not as deep. Jigotai is normally kind of somewhere, on the top half. We typically call it 60 to 80%. So 100% up, and then this is about 80% up, and then somewhere between 16 and 80 is where we should always kind of live in our emotions with our Jigotai. But there are certain actions that demand that we go as low as our range of movement demands. And again, what I was going to say is it's an amazing example of that range. Okay, so next one, okay, to kind of continue on that is that we have a gorilla walk. In this case, 2 hands, making sure to transfer your weight, pinky through your fingers, almost into your knees, and down. Pinky, your fingers, almost into your knees. I'm saying not fully, don't drop onto your knees. Almost your knees, come back. Pinky, moving, following, and back. Pinky, moving, following, back. Pinky, moving, following, and back, and up and rest. Okay, so please gorilla walks up and down in your own time. Okay, we're working on those hip flexors. Make sure to keep those hips down, head up. Make sure to keep those hips down, head up. So, this guy, let's work a little bit. I know he's going to be a little bit more width of your legs or your tension on the knees like that. Try to work, on those knees staying more or less. Wow. Well, the level going towards the direction of the feet. Okay, so take a little bit more time to help you in that because you're particularly prone to the collapsing injuries. So. All right, now let's do a combination. Gorilla walk with side kicks. And the important thing of side kick is going to be to align your knee to your kick. So you're coming down, put your hands down. Okay, open your knee to one direction, to one side, holding, opposite arm against your shoulder, coming back, opening your hips. Okay, make sure to open your hips. So this a little bit. This very action is important. So. Hinging, opening one side, holding to the other side, down, change, and gorilla walk. Hands again out, 1, 2, and gorilla walk. Hands, 1, 2, and gorilla walks. Okay, now we go. Side kicks and gorilla walks. Okay. Let's do about 3 and then change that. With your upper body, pull back towards your side. Really? If you can perform these exercises, Aikido Jigotai will be a piece of cake. Okay. So Again, the important thing with all these exercises is for us to own the movements, okay? Which means take your time, open to one side, move, open, move, change, jump, open, move, open, move, change, jump. Okay, so take your time on the exercise. You can own the movements and then proceed.
Go in front because I'm slow.
Look towards your shoulder, looking towards your shoulder, opposite hand. So when you do your movement. Ah, yeah. Cool. Okay. Cool. Good. Very good, thank you. Alright. Looking down. Looking now. Alright, let's your legs and very basic shin box. Shin box to one side. Shin box to the other side. Shin box to one side. Shin box to the other side. Shin box to one side. Shin box to the other side. Okay, so remember this exercise is very good because it challenges a few things. It challenges the sideways rotations of our hips, which is very important, but it also challenges the internal and external rotation of our knees, which we hardly ever perform in a safe manner. Normally when we do internal or external rotation of our knees, it's because we're doing something that is going to be an injury. So our knees hardly go externally or internally into rotation. So this is a good exercise to check. And sometimes we identify little pinches in different parts. If there's a pinch on that part, we just have to go and see somebody to help us, or just perform exercises that kind of help us to pay attention to that particular part in a little bit of a more specific way. Okay, so most basic form of shin box. When you support your hands, your body in your hands, you establish a width of your legs that is not going to change. Okay, so it's very important in shin box that you don't kind of have something and you keep moving the legs however they go. So establish a width that you start to know that is the width your body needs in order to perform the exercise. Your feet are mostly down, and now you change from one side up, and now you change to the other side. Now change to one side up, changing to the other side down. Okay, and sometimes this even very basic fact of identifying the width that my own body needs to move, it's an important self-reflection exercise. Sometimes we don't know that. Sometimes we say, oh, well, it's just this much. Okay, and obviously when I do that, then my legs start hitting each other. So it's a knowledge of how much of my own body needs in order to move. Maybe it's too big, and I can't really perform the motion well because now it's too big of a movement. So how much is the motion that is going to allow just enough space for those shins to drop and not be interfering with each other. Okay, so next motion is going to be shirokemi and shin box, shirokemi, shin box. Hey, shirokemi into shin box, shirokemi, 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 shin box. Shirokemi, Shin box. Now, here, okay? We did it quite slow. You have really, really good health of your shin, your hips. You will not need this. You will be able to get up by yourself. But if you don't, use your hands in order to kind of collect yourself up, and use your hands in order to collect yourself down. If you have really good health of your shin and a bit of momentum, you may just use your hands forward, use your hands back, open for ukemi, forward, back, open for ukemi. The important thing is that the hands, as I say many times, that the hands are being used constantly to support the movement of the lower body. It's a retraining of our mind. It's almost like the hands, unless they are doing the main job, they don't know what else to do, and they don't want to participate in the rest of the equation. Right? And there is no main job. Okay, the moment the main job is with the legs, so therefore the hands just disconnect. They just don't know what to do. Okay, so no. The hands need to learn to always, regardless of they're performing the main function or not, be in service of the movement, regardless if it is. So 3 motions with the hands: pulling, pushing, opening, pulling, pushing, opening, pulling, pushing, opening. Okay, so shin boxing with the lower body, and please supporting with the upper body. Okay, if you cannot do that because your hips are not good, then the hands, literally put your hands down, open, turn, hands up, hands down, open, turn, hands up. Okay, so in that case, the hands actually push from the floor. But if you don't need to do that, then pulling, pushing, and opening. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. So after that, basic motion out, shooting forward and moving your hip flexor forward and sitting down and opening up. Okay, so again, all checking the health of the hip in different directions. Okay, then you shift back again, and then you perform the exercise again. Okay, so shin box extension, Shirokemi, up, shin box extension, shooting forward, hip flexor forward, and ankle, really push forward, sitting down, and hamstring, as much as possible, careful with it, opening up, 45 degrees, so, shooting back, pigeon pose, or almost pigeon pose, and shin box extension, and the other side, me, up, forward, shooting, and back, sitting, and open, 45, and back, pigeon pose, and shin box extension. Shirokemi, up, forward, ankle and hip flexor, back, knee and hamstring, opening, knee, hip flexor and knee and ankle, back, whatever the pigeon pose helps with. And up and change. One more time. Last one. So, up, forward, back, open, back, and good. Stay easy. All right, so Jigotai part, is a big part of phase one, okay, of the set of movements that we do. Again, we need to constantly be trying to work and check and improve the health of our lower body, especially of our hips and our spine. It's essential for the function of our body, and it's essential for our Aikido training. So it's very important to keep constantly all of these exercises that maintain some level of checking, if not some level of mobility on the lower body. Let's finish up with Kokyu Ho. So breathing in through your nose, feel your chest, drop it into your lower abdomen, breathing out through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose, into your chest, drop into your lower body, into your lower abdomen, sorry, and breathe out through your mouth. In through your nose, onto your chest, down to your lower abdomen, out through the mouth. In through your nose, to your chest, down to your lower abdomen, out through your mouth. In through your nose, down to your chest, into your lower abdomen, out through your mouth. Now just making sure this time that the timing between the inhalation and the exhalation are the same. The timing of the dropping is about a third of that. So let's, for example, say, 6 seconds inhaling, 2 seconds dropping, 6 seconds exhaling. 6 seconds inhaling, 2 seconds dropping, 6 seconds exhaling. Six seconds inhaling, 2 dropping, 6 exhaling. And relax. So that's this type of breathing is what Sensei would call Aiki breathing. Now, we need to be careful to do the techniques that we meant to do, okay? So this is not Misogi breathing. Misogi breathing is when you completely exhale yourself entirely out of breath. Your exhalation is much more prolonged than your inhalation. It's a different type of breathing, a different type of exercise. So this is the thing when things look similar, but they are not similar. They are completely different exercises. So your breathing is when you completely exhale, and then you inhale. And most of the time that's quicker, and then you exhale very, very, very slowly, and it's much, 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 much longer than your exhalation, and then you completely spread yourself of breath, and then you do it again. So this other type of breathing is not quite that. They are all good, but they are different, so just don't do one when we think that is the other one, okay? So just to kind of practice the same things. All right, let's finish up. Right. Right. Arigato gozaimashita. Thank you very much.